Top Chef, episode 8. And tonight was Restaurant Wars. This is always an episode that a lot of people look forward to. It's usually one of the more controversial episodes of the season because it all comes down to that idea. And if it's your idea that ends up losing, you're probably going home. So there was a little bit of a twist on it this year. So last week we had all of our chefs pitch their restaurants, and the top two pitches won the elimination last week and got to lead the restaurants this week. But that's a bit of a double-edged sword because, you're putting your neck on the line and you better deliver with that restaurant. So we had Gregory leading one restaurant. He was going Haitian themed. And then on the other side, we had Kevin, who was more of a family style, southern, comforty type food restaurant. And, I really thought that there were going to be issues with Gregory's restaurant. He was very much a Haitian theme that none of our other chefs cooked, versus Kevin, who I felt like his idea was more adaptable to a wider variety of chefs, but we saw one very big difference in how the two approached their restaurants, and that was Gregory stuck fully with his idea, no compromise. It was his idea, and it was Haitian through and through. He was tasting all the dishes. He was checking at how everything was done. And he was being a little bit of a perfectionist. And it ends up paying off because his restaurant wins by a landslide. So his team was Gregory, Leanne, Stephanie, and Brian Malarkey. Malarkey did a great job up front. Leanne struggled a little bit when she was the expediter, but Stephanie took over. And from that point on, everything seemed to go pretty smoothly. The majority of their dishes were loved by the judges, and they just really knocked it out of the park. So that whole team ends up splitting $40,000. That's a pretty large prize for a single episode. Plus, they all got a subscription to OpenTable, which is a restaurant management software, which I'm sure is worth a pretty penny on top of that. So on to our losing team. Kevin just didn't quite take control of everything. The idea for doing a family style meal just didn't really work in the condensed format. 100. So each group had to put through 100 guests in 4 hours. But really, a family style meal just takes longer. And I don't think that they properly adjusted and adapted for that. And as a result, their service was slow. They got backed up. They had huge lines of people waiting. And then to make it even worse, the food was just okay. And that is not what you want to hear when it's your idea, your concept, your food. You're going to get sent to Last Chance Kitchen. So no surprise here. Kevin gets chopped and he is gone to Last Chance Kitchen. But I will update you briefly on what happened in tonight's episode of Last Chance Kitchen. I also thought that Karen performed quite poorly here today. She was the front of house and just couldn't quite get everything under control. And then on top of that, she had made the worst dish of the night. And then in front of the judges, tried to throw Melissa under the bus for it. And just those kind of things just never sit well for me. So I think Karen is probably sitting on thin ice, and maybe her days are numbered in Top Chef. All right, let's catch up with what's happened in Last Chance Kitchen. So I got you all caught up last week. Nene was our reigning champion. So Kevin heads in to face off against Nene. They had to create something based off a fond memory regarding food and Kevin ends up being our winner. I was rooting for Nini, really wanted her to make it back, but her run in Last Chance Kitchen is over. And now Kevin will face off with whoever gets eliminated next week for a shot back on the show. So that wraps up our Top Chef recap for the week. Let me know, who are you rooting for? What are you looking forward to for the rest of the season? And yeah, I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.